Good. Well, good morning. We are at the IEA Basel. I have the pleasure to be here with Thomas, and we had really much enjoyed preparing the whole session about big data. And I think so far it has been very, very interesting in terms of energy in the room, attendance in the room, and on the topic. But Thomas, in the way I've perceived so far, I think that as an industry, while we really want to go into that direction, I think we are not yet mature, and it's very, very much the beginning, and it's still a long way, hopefully not too long way to go, before we actually get to some tangible result and we see it make a difference in our world.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. Well, first of all, I think big data is already here. It's everywhere in society, and it's getting bigger by the hour, and it's hitting us. So from a regulatory point of view, I think it's very clear we don't want to be hit by the big data avalanche. So we want to be prepared, but it's also fair to say it's very early days. I think we realize also during the discussions we've had so far that you can't really say big data without AI. Particularly because it's going to be very difficult to manage all that data and get something meaningful out of it without the use of AI. And as you say, Isabelle, we are in early days, but I don't think we will remain in early days for long because it's moving very rapidly.
And related to that, it was a very interesting question, which I asked as well to you early on, which I think was challenging in the audience, is at some point in time, are the regulator going to be not really replaced, but the job will be taken for a big part by AI, and are the regulator going to accept that? And what is the position of the regulator from that perspective?
The regulator will never accept being replaced. Well, jokes aside, I think we all have to accept that our roles will change. I mean, this is not just a change in the regulatory role, it's a change of all the roles that we've known so far. The interaction with machines and the interaction with AI will definitely change over time. And a lot of the work that we are doing manually today will be initially done by machines in an augmented way, but at a certain point in time, I suspect it will move from augmented to part of the decision making. Will it ever replace human beings completely? I'm not a futurist, so I can't really say, but I think it would be foolish not to be realizing that our roles will change. Physicians, pilots, drivers, anyone who's doing complicated work will be aided by augmented intelligence and alas, ultimately, hopefully not replaced completely, but at least supported by.
And related to that, I think I heard a lot about the audience about we need new skill sets, we need data scientists, we need data scientists. But in a way, that seems to be very much like 10 years ago, we need programmer. I think we need data scientists, but we mostly need people, and I think you kind of mentioned that. We need people who understand end-to-end the process.
Yes.
And data scientists is very important, but it's like of the programmer 10 years ago. They are one of the elements,
yes.
And we should not focus just on that and technology.
No, you're singing to the choir here because such a complex process of developing and regulating medicines and prescribing them, it's a multifactorial system. You really need many skill sets. And just to focus on one would be a total mistake. What I do think we miss, and you and I have talked about that, is we probably need some architects, some who can really understand the entire landscape, who can a little bit better describe the process and then bring the different skills in. So I think we're totally on the same page there, Isabelle.
Yeah, that is going to be quite interesting to have somebody who can understand the whole thing. Definitely
it'll be a nice job.
A challenge.
Maybe
yes.
For a computer. I don't know.
A computer, yes, why not? So I think what we did not really, well, we kind of address, but not so much, is also the impact on the patient. I think it must be daunting for the patient to say, what am I going to do with all those new technology? And that's something that, as a patient, I would not feel comfortable. Tomorrow, to have, let's think, I have Siri of Alexa, who is driving what I'm supposed to do for a study. I'm an old person. Is that going to work?
Yes, I think you're right. I mean, the sessions we have left in this topic here and in the DIA meetings to come, I mean, it's crucial to get a dialogue between sponsors, regulators, patients, all stakeholders. There's a lot of ethical questions as well. We don't have all the answers today. We have probably more questions than answers, but that's a good sign. That's actually what defines man from machine, smarter questions than having the answers. But the issue around patients and how can we facilitate and make it easier and more transparent is going to be a continuously important question to answer.
And then there's another one I thought that this morning was interesting when we were speaking about AI, big data. I thought, oh, we are speaking about the brave new world of Aldous Huxley, except that instead of having two populations, the low population, not very not very skilled and a high-level skilled one, and then in the middle you have the machine. And I thought, oh, is that the world where we are going to? That's a little bit frightening to me. And how are we going to manage? Was he right? It's like Tesla, Elon Musk saying AI is going to actually manage ourselves.
Well,
and so that's where I think we need, as we really have as a human being, a responsibility to make sure that we can still manage the artifact we are producing.
Yeah.
And we should not dream too fast, and we should not let it go too fast. Because I think certainly the people who do understand have a responsibility, and you as regulator definitively have a responsibility to make sure guys don't go too fast, don't go too far, because that may be creating other problems.
Sure. No, I think we can all agree that there are many advantages. I think it's a good idea to remain open-minded and not completely naive.
Yeah. And still be careful.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you to you too. Thank you.